to you, my friend. My name is Carlos, and welcome to, well, another episode of Nerd Fun. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, but Carlos, you're not the main subject in Nerd Fun. Yeah, I know that. So, here is Joe. Joe, what's going on?
Hello.
So, Joe, what are we doing today?
We're doing SodaStream today.
Joe has never experienced SodaStream before, and he saw that I have one, and so he wanted to give it a try. So that's what we're going to do. So here's Joe with the, CO2 canister. And we have a problem. What's our problem, Joe?
We don't have any more CO2.
Yeah, it's empty. So we're going to take a little trip to Wally World, and we got to go get a brand new canister. Now, one really cool thing I want to point out, yeah, I know SodaStream's kind of dead. It's, the fad's over. But if you still have one, you might already know this, or if you're just picking one up for the first time. The cool thing is that if you have an empty CO2 canister, there are certain stores that you can take them back to, and then you actually get a refund a little bit. So, or like a credit almost. So you're not going to spend the full amount on the CO2 canister. So that's what we're going to go do, right?
Yep.
So here it is. SodaStream. They've changed their packaging up just a little bit from before. So, yeah, Joe's interested in the Dr. Pete, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to do that. These are the new designs for the Carbonators, which we have a different one. So that's all right. And everything. And then, we need this down here. Holy mackerel, $29.96. I think with our canister that we have here, I think they might cut it in half or something like that. I'm not sure what the discount is. Well, we have succeeded in getting a new Carbonator, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
After a little, interesting back and forth. So we were at Wally World. They apparently were all out of the exchanges. So we ran to Best Buy here, which is just across the street. They were able to do it after a little bit of talking to their helpy people-y, figure out how to actually do it. But now we have to run back to Wally World to actually go pick up our Dr. Pete, because they didn't have it here at Best Buy. Alrighty, so now we have both. Turn that around so we can see it. Dr. Pete. So that's our flavor that we're going to be trying out. I've never tried it before. Joe has obviously never tried it before. Mm-hmm. So, you excited?
Mm-hmm.
First thing I want you to do, Joe, we need to take the back cover off of this. Okay. So that's the carbonator button. So the two on the side here. So just press them in and then pull. There we go. So we got the back off. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this so we can see it. So now what I want you to do, I want you to grab the carbonator canister. And we'll take off the blue. Should be a perforation in there. Perfect. Alrighty. Now that white little cap will just come off. Yep, just pull it off. Just pull it. It's not actually screwed on there. Alrighty. So now this is going to be the fun part here. So what you need to do, so go ahead and drop the canister through the hole, and then you're actually going to have to pick up the entire base a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And then feed it in. And then start screwing. Oh. So actually, yep, screw your canister. So it won't screw in anymore. Tight? You want it tight, but not too tight. I would call that good. All right, so now we're going to put the back cover back on. So go ahead and grab that. And down at the bottom, you see this little tab right here. That needs to go into the hole there. And then just
angle it.
Yep. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so here's what we're going to do now. Alright? I'm going to have you go ahead and open up the Dr. Pete here. Okay. So again with the perforation. I've never opened these ones before, so yeah, you're on your own. It says tear open here, so.
I'm going to find the. See it's open. It's very fangled new stuff. Oh.
Is it giving you a hard time?
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to give the camera to you. Let's see if I can figure out... Oh, apparently we can't read. Can you read that right there? Twist to open. Apparently neither of us can read. And I was looking at it, I thought it said tear here. I was just thinking that. So apparently, there we go. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we'll read the directions on how much we're actually supposed to put in a moment. Just set that aside. Alright, Joe. So here's what we need to do now. Okay? So we're going to take this right here. So for those of you watching, excuse me real quick here. So you are providing the perfect background, Joe. So there's this little wavy line. That's where you want to fill it up to water with. Now what we did, we filled ours up with cold filtered water, and then we left them in the refrigerator for just a little bit. So now here's what we're going to do. And you know what, I'm going to help you out on this one because this is a little weird. So go ahead and grab the camera here. So the first thing we want to do, we want to take this cap off of here. And because we're doing this in the studio here, I don't want water all over the place. So we're going to push this back here and insert the straw in. And then, if I can get it to cooperate with me here, we're going to screw on the bottle and just let it sit. Now, here's what we're going to do. Okay? Joe, what I want you to do, I want you to press that top button right here. Press it down. Press it down. Press it down again. Again. I would do it a couple more times. Yeah, give it one more. So what this does, this is releasing the carbonation into the bottle right here. And in fact, actually, keep pressing it down. It'll buzz at us. You'll hear it change. Keep going. There we go. Did it scare you? So what that sound right there means is that this is what is considered to be carbonated as to what they consider carbonated. Now, I think it's a little bit weak on the carbonation, so we're just going to give it a couple more real quick there. Now, here's what I want you to do, Joe. I want you to press back on this, and you're going to hear it release. There we go. Now, that's a very important step because, well, you don't want this thing blowing up on you. So go ahead and grab the camera back from me. I'm going to take this off of here. We'll just hold it and unscrew it. So what we have now is essentially carbonated water, which is, well, you can drink this straight. Some people do. I don't actually mind the carbonated water. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cap on here real quick just so we don't lose any carbonation. And what we're going to do is we're going to read the directions on how much of this to put in, and then we'll be back in just a second. All right, so what we did was I went ahead and rinsed off the cap here. It's probably going to be incredibly difficult to see, but there are little, I don't even know, can you see them on camera, Joe?
Mm-hmm, yeah, barely.
So it's lightly etched in here, but there's little lines, and if you look kind of in the inside, can you see where my finger is pointing on the line there? Mm-hmm. So that is that second line that they're talking about. Now, because Joe didn't want to make a mess, he told me I'm going to do this. So if I make a mess, he gets to laugh at me, I guess. That's fair, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, so here we go. So now this is pretty syrupy, so it's actually really not that hard to pour. So we got it filled up there. I'm going to set this off to the side. Set that down. And take the cap off of this. And then what we're going to do is pour our flavoring in. Now be careful with this. If you do it too fast, you can actually like stir this up enough to actually make it bubble over. So just be careful. So once we got most of that in there, we can go ahead and take our cap again here and put it back on our syrup. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put our cap back on. And Joe, I'm going to take the camera back from you. Alrighty, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick this up, turn it on its side. Okay, now what I want you to do, I want you to tilt it from side to side just a couple times. And what this is going to do, this is just going to mix up all the flavoring. That's probably good. Perfect. Alrighty. Now here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to have you grab this back from me here. So we're going to do now, and take the cap off. Now my suggestion would be, because you were pretty violent, just kind of like this. But of course, you know, the more you shake it up, the more violently you shake it up, the better it's going to mix. And this is what they recommend, but yeah. Anyway, so of course, because this is carbonated and we've been shaking it up, you'll want to be careful. Now watch me make an entire mess here. So there we go. Now I'm going to grab a couple glasses. We're going to pour a little bit of this out. That's actually pretty carbonated, as you can maybe see through the glass there. I'm just going to pour a little bit in here. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to take the camera back. Alright, Joe. So, first time trying SodaStream. So go ahead. Let me know what you think.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. Does it taste like Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, I have to say, it's pretty good.
So we made our Dr. Pete. Now we're actually going to do the SodaStream water here. Now I really like these. I don't really have anything to compare them to. So in terms of like comparing them to like say Dr. Pepper or something like that, like I said, there really isn't anything to compare them to. So I really like these. I had a lemon lime one. It's practically gone. So the one that Joe picked out is an orange one here. So we're going to go ahead and add on this one. This is a half, is it a tablespoon? No, half teaspoon.
I mean, it's okay.
It's okay. This is Joe's reaction when he's like, "Oh, it's there."
Yeah, that's probably more like it.
Hey, some people like flavored water, some people don't. Yeah. So, just got done doing the SodaStream stuff. Joe, where would you rank it on 1 to 10?
I give it an 8.
Give it an 8? And so, the Dr. Pete in comparison to Dr. Pepper, give me a rating on that.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
And the Zest water?
Yeah, I give it a 4.
Not your favorite?
No.
Anyway, now that we have a new CO2 canister here at my house, I'm sure you're going to be bugging me to have this every time you come over now, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Anyway, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Nerd Fun. My name has been Carlos.
My name has been Joel.
We'll see you next time right here on Tech Beam.